Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Gonna pull some cards. I just woke up a little while ago and I just like felt this like pulling to do like a reading. And Spirit said something to me like right after. I was like, all right, I'll do a reading. They said something to me about a lot of people are in like transitions and they're seeing damn, we're already doing this, yeah. There's Jesus. Hold on. Sage. Here. They're seeing areas where they're out of alignment. Like they're seeing areas where you're going, either you're in that now, like where you're seeing areas that you're out of alignment, or you're going to be seeing that. So what that means is basically like, what is it that you really desire? Like, what are the things that you need? Like kind of what are your non-negotiables, stuff like that. And making sure that you're not settling and making sure that you're becoming the person that you need to be able to accept and receive what it is you want. So I think I brought this up in the other reading. I can't remember because I think it was like a week ago or something. But like, if you're looking for a relationship, right? Like you want somebody who's safe. You want somebody who's trustworthy. You want somebody who's like open at communicating and stuff like that, then you have to become that too. So in order to be able to receive somebody like that, you have to be that person too. So there's a lot of that type of stuff going on, but it's also like, if you look at it from a financial perspective, right? It's like you're wanting to have a job or a business or something where you're passionate, where, you make money, where you have freedom and stuff like that. That means you need to free yourself from things that you're not passionate about, free yourself from things that are holding you back, but also be in the energy of being able to accept and receive money as well. So if somebody is doing something for you or buying you something, like for you to actually be able to energetically receive it and not like repel it or push it away or stuff like that. But also you have to work through any blockages and fears you have, like where you probably have fears that you're not going to get what you want. And you have like possibly like roadblocks. Like everybody I think has different ones, but I'd say like the belief system that I have to work so hard to be able to receive what I want. Well, if you think like that, then you're not going to be able to actually be open to receive money unless you're working hard. So it's not that your mindset is wrong, and it's not that you have to change your mindset. It's naturally like allowing the energy to flow up. If your energy is open, these things will naturally flow up. If your energy is kind of closed off, you probably have to go within. So either like a meditation or journaling, or like you could video journal like this and talk to yourself and see like, what am I afraid of? What are the things that want? I feel like people should do this anyway. Like, what is it that I actually desire? What is it that I really want? And then making sure that like your decisions and your choices and getting your mindset into the state where it all matches, where what you want, what you believe, what you think, all that stuff aligns. All of it's the same. So like, if I'm an honest and trustworthy person, and I pride, which this is actually me, so I'll give you an example, but I also actually feel this way about myself. I'm a very honest person. Anybody who knows me, you can tell that immediately off the bat. Even if you don't know me, you can usually tell that immediately off the bat, because I'm very open with the way I say things, and I'm very direct and blunt and honest with stuff. So that's something that I value, and you don't question that my value is different than my behavior, that is different than, you know, my people's outward perception, their behaviors and all that shit should match. So like, you can always tell when somebody's not in alignment because they'll say something, but then their behavior is totally different, where you're kind of like, this doesn't make sense. There's a little bit of conflict there. Whereas like with me is like, you know, I'm honest. And like, if I tell you I'm an honest person, you know, I'm honest, not because of my words. You see that my words match my behaviors. It's probably a better way to say it. So like, you can tell that. Also at an energetic level, you can feel that. So that is something that I'm in alignment with. Like everything matches and stuff. So a lot of you guys are learning how to kind of work through areas where you're not in alignment with what the life that you want, which means like leaving people and situations and belief systems and stuff that don't align with the life that you actually want. And I'll give you an example of this. I'll tell you something that just happened the other day. So I got a flat on the road, and luckily I got home. I had a feeling something weird was going to happen anyway, because I'd said a spirit just help me get home like safely or whatever today. I don't know. I've been feeling anxious about driving and stuff for a little while. I think it's because after I got my brakes done, like, was it like 2 years ago? Like, they literally, like, I got my front and back brakes completely changed, obviously by a mechanic. And, afterward, like, I think it was 2 months later, my brake actually, like, completely, like, went out to the floor, like, pad was gone, like, everything. And I literally said to spirit, like, please give me a sign if, like, I should not be driving. I was about to get on the expressway, and the expressway, we go probably like 80 miles, 90 miles an hour, right? So, I said to spirit, like, give me a definitive sign that, like, give me, like, I'm literally, I have so many balls to pick up. Just bring me the same one back. This is paper that I've already written on. I'm going to throw out, so it's not like a waste of paper. I usually write on the backside and shit. But anyway, so, like, I'm like, give me a definitive sign that, like, if I shouldn't go on the expressway or whatever, like, let me know. And, like, my brake literally touched the floor. So I was like, can you please get me home safely? And I literally got home, like, just whatever. So the other day I was driving, and I said a prayer, because I think I've just been anxious since that happened to drive and stuff like that. I used to love driving, and now I don't know. I feel like just anxious driving. But oh, are you gonna just be cute and sweet? But anyway, so damn, I feel like I'm all over the place. Let me drink some of my coffee. Anyway, so I literally just said to spirit, like, if something's gonna happen, just, help me get home safely, like, no accidents, like, I don't want to get fucking towed, because I had something happen with my brakes a few months ago, or I had to get towed. Hey, can you not? Thanks. So yeah, that's all my decks. Not all of them, that's just some of them. So anyway, whatever. I ended up having, like, Geico Roadside come out for the other day when this just happened, and they're like, we can't change, like, the tire that you have. It needs to be mounted, whatever. So I said to spirit, I was like, honestly, like, I don't want to fucking have to go in a tow truck tomorrow morning. I don't want to have to wake up early. Don't want to have to go in a tow truck tomorrow morning with a fucking stranger. They're always weird. Like, it's always weird people. A lot of times they hit on me. They freaking make me uncomfortable as fuck. And I don't want to have to go sit in a fucking tire shop or go sit at a mechanic place and wait for my shit to get done. So I'm going to look it up. Like, can you guys find me somewhere that can come to my fucking house and whatever. So I caught my mindset after I asked for these things going, but if it's better for me to go there, then just help me be able to deal with it. And in that moment, I kind of realized it's like, I'm literally settling on something I don't want. Like, I don't want to fucking do that other shit. And everything doesn't have to be a lesson. So I was like, okay, actually, fuck that. I just want somebody to come to my house. They did. They ended up coming. Like, I ended up finding somebody. And they came out, like, the next morning, because it was in the evening time. They came out the next morning and, like, got it, or afternoon, and got it done. And it was actually cheaper than, so brand new tire, cheaper than going to fucking Goodyear. And they came out to my house, and I didn't have to go sit with anybody and whatever. And, like, stop. No. We're going to stop. Hey, we're going to calm down. You want some selenite? Let's calm your ass down. Come here. Come here. It's like this cat. Come here. Actually, you know what? Next time I want your attention and your love and you're ignoring me, I'm going to just come in here and fake your reading. So this way you'll come up to me. And, like, that'll be funny. I'll try to see her in, like, the camera if she's, like, relaxing or not. Probably not. I think she might just feel, like, the energy and stuff like that. Like, when I'm pulling cards. Because I don't just pull cards, I, like, channel, too. So... Are you sweet? Is mommy in love with you? I'm, like, obsessed with her. Come here. In a healthy way, of course. In the way that a cat mom should be obsessed with her cat. Oh. You just want love? You just want attention? Come here. Sit with mom. Anyway. Alright, let me pull cards. Oh, yay. Let me see what they have. Advise and listen. This is from that soul deck, right? Is this from the soul deck? Shadow and Light deck. Never mind. Yeah or no? Yeah. Okay, we got offended and enlightened on the bottom with fear and anxiety. It is really, my hair looks like ratchet as fuck. I literally just woke up and I didn't like brush it. That's all right. Whatever. And then we got advise and listen, apologizing and grudge. Okay. So this is what I'm getting is like with this fear anxiety card, it feels like some of you guys are having energy coming up, unresolved energy, unresolved trauma. I don't want to keep calling shit trauma because it's not always like a trauma, but unresolved energy, unresolved emotions. So things that have happened where instead of transmuting the energy or feeling the energy or like releasing it, emotions, you know, is a great type of example for that. Like they were suppressed or shoved down. A lot of it is like Spirit saying is like outdated belief systems that you have about yourself and other people that you're going to start seeing in a different way. So things where you were hurt by people or things where you saw repeated patterns of people are a certain way, you're going to start seeing them different as you're healing these old emotions and as you're seeing things from a higher level of clarity. Like you're going to have like a deeper understanding. It's almost like, okay, it's almost like seeing things through a trauma lens and seeing it through like a soul lens, like seeing it in a different way, in a more enlightened way. So kind of what it feels like is, okay, say you, okay, I want to say something and then I keep getting like stopped. So I'm trying to figure out like how to explain what the hell they're saying to me. Okay, so say somebody did something to you and you took it personal and it correlates with a belief system you already have that all people, like I'll give you an example, like for me, like men being cheaters, right? Obviously, like for me, I've been cheated. I shouldn't say obviously, men, I'm saying men for me. So like I've been cheated on in every relationship. I grew up and saw my parents cheating on each other. My one sister cheated. Well, she fucking hooked up with me and my sister's boyfriends too. But like, I saw all this cheating going on. My first like long-term 5-year relationship, he cheated on me so many times. I was in another relationship, he cheated on me. So like, I've seen all this stuff, right? So then you'd watch like movies or you would talk to your friends and they were cheated on too. And all these people are talking about cheating, right? Then you go on social media and then of course that's what your energy is at. So that's what Spirit's going to show you about all these people cheating and all this shit, right? So you develop this belief system that people are cheaters. Now everything's like multiple layers of stuff. So it's not always just one thing. And that's why as you're healing, like it seems like you heal one thing, but there's a bunch of other like hidden mixed messages below the surface that relate to this one situation or belief system, right? So we develop this like, okay, for me, men are cheaters, which I know are not, like not all men cheat. I know not all people cheat, right? But I had this belief system that they do. I still have the energy they do, even though in my conscious mind, I know they don't. And that's what I mean about getting into alignment is working through all that repressed emotion and energy of being cheated on, of all these things where when you look at it from a different perspective is, if I was in a place of empowerment, if I was in a place of self-respect and self-love, when I knew he cheated, I would have left. I would have stood up for myself. So a lot of times that specific thing is related to me not standing up for myself, me not choosing myself, me not loving myself, me believing that that's all I deserve in my worthiness. You see? So like once you heal that, the other shit goes away or it resolves and stuff. So like in my situation, the fuck was I bringing up? Okay. So like in my situation, like if what they're talking about, what is this stuff is, so I took it personal. Like I was cheated on because I wasn't good enough or I wasn't pretty enough or I was like too fat or it was because I was boring or it was because my personality sucks or it was because this girl, you know, had like bigger tits or was like hotter or whatever it is, right? Whatever shit I would tell myself. And so all of that stuff that I shoved down into a belief system would be coming up and it might feel anxious and it might feel uncomfortable and it might feel all of these things. But as it's coming up, because you're healing, you're going to see it from a different perspective. You're going to see it as, one, I made choices that weren't best for me. I did the best I could in that time. And that's what I needed at that time, was I needed the safety of a relationship, and somebody coming back to me. Ooh, that just made me like want to cry for somebody else. like come back to me. I needed that safety of somebody to come back to me over being alone and feeling worthless. Versus like, okay, now we look at it from a different perspective of like, I actually like deserve hella fucking better, right? But also, again, at like another level, we're looking at it too from a different perspective of that person cheating on me had nothing to do with anything being wrong with me. It had nothing to do with me not being pretty enough. It had nothing to do with my body. It had nothing to do with me not being good enough. It had nothing to do with the other person being better than me. It was because at a level, whatever that person was going through, they did what they did for whatever reason. Usually for me, I can identify it, but I'm just generally speaking of like an example. So like, that's what I'm talking about, is like this type of stuff is coming up. And so as it's coming up, like I said, it might feel anxious, it might feel very uncomfortable, it might all these things, but in order to get into alignment, you need to heal these things. So if like, say for me, if I was looking for a relationship and I want a healthy relationship built on trust and safety and not cheating, I need to heal that belief system that all men cheat, because subconsciously I would still be choosing somebody where I felt not good enough and I felt like they would cheat on me. So like, you have to heal those things where what you know and what you believe and what you choose all are on the same level. Because like I said, it's not just the belief system of all people cheat. It's also the belief system of that's all I deserve, or that's all I'm worth, and you know, stuff like that. And I know like for me, like, I've been able to see a lot of perspectives, like a lot of things in a different perspective. And I've actually had a lot of this type of stuff coming up for me the last week or so with old friendships, old relationships, and choices that I made. And I looked at it, in a different way. Like I looked at it, well, Spirit helped me with like an old friend that like, I don't talk to her anymore, but they helped me kind of look at something in a different way. They had me, type something up on my phone a few years ago. They had channeled just a bunch of messages to me. And in the message, they had brought one of my friends up at the time and had said something about her being a good friend and like her being a young soul hero teacher and all this shit, right? And I like read it the other day, like they just pulled it up. I was looking for something and they pulled just that specific paragraph up with her. And I was just like, this doesn't make any sense, because I know you guys don't lie to me, but also I was like, this is not my reality. So I was like, okay, obviously there's a perception change that I need to have. So I was like, okay, let me look at why did I feel like she wasn't a good friend? Let me look at what specific things happened and why. And so what I realized was her doing certain things made me feel very used, made me feel taken for granted, made me feel a lot of different things. And in fairness to me, I do still feel like that's what she was doing. But when I changed my perspective, I looked at it from her perspective. That's the only way she knows how to get love. That's the only way she knows how to receive love. She has issues with being able to accept like deeper love. She has, I'm not trying to shit talk. I'm just trying to explain how I was able to change my perspective. She sees things at a very surface level. So for her to be given stuff is the way she receives love. Like she doesn't know how to get it at a deeper level. And I'm not sure if she wants to or not. Like it is what it is. And so for her, it wasn't her using me. For her, it was her trying to get love from me in the way that she knows how to get love in an unhealthy way. And so it made me kind of look at things from a different perspective, that our relationship wasn't all just like a lie. Like there was love for what it could be at that level. But it also made me realize that this is just a person that our values are completely, her and I are just totally different fucking people, and our values are just completely different, that it would not work. Like a friendship, a long-term friendship would not work. And as like we both are changing, like I don't know if she is, I haven't talked to her, but like as I'm changing, it's just something that like I don't want. Like I want relationships that are really deep, that are very open, that are very, I don't want to say soul, but very heart-led, and it helped me heal it, I think, and it helped me to I don't know, like, I love her. I always will love her, and I will always care about her and stuff like that. And I wish her well. I've always kind of wished her well, even with, everything that happened. But I don't know, it just helped me to feel different about it, to not feel so much anger, and to kind of just understand her perspective. And like, it helped heal like part of this fear belief system that people use me, that people don't value me, that people don't love me, that people just take from me and need from me, which is what I've experienced most of my life, starting in my childhood with one of my siblings used to do it to me. My parents used to do it to me. Then I had friends who did it to me, like where they would just take and take and take and not give back. And so exes like had me doing everything. Like, so yeah, like it made me like heal some stuff and see stuff from a different level. And also like kind of look at my relationships now, how they're very balanced. Like a lot of them, I don't want to say balanced, but a lot of them are more balanced where it's like a give and take. It's like I call it like a cycling of energy, because when you're in a relationship with somebody where you're always tired and drained, it's because they're taking from you. When you're in like an energy that's reciprocated, it cycles. The energy cycles where you're not drained or you're not energized, you're just neutral. Or, I mean, sometimes you're a little bit like happier, you feel more like yourself and shit like that. But like for the most part, it's not pulling you down, is what I should say. So like, it made me kind of change my perspective and kind of heal some of that stuff too, about like people not taking from me, because I realized too, even like my friends that I trust and I know aren't like takers or aren't using me and stuff like that, when they would ask me for stuff, sometimes it still made me feel like, oh, they're just trying to use me, they're just trying to get something from me, even though they weren't. That's the way my mind still went. And that's the way my mind still felt. And how can I have a deep connection with somebody if I'm not surrendering and trusting somebody who's showing me that they're trustworthy? How can I have these healthier dynamics and relationships if I'm not allowing people to actually love me and to support me and to receive from me, but also to give to me? So you see what I'm saying about things needing to be in alignment? You want deeper relationships with people. You want healthier relationships with people, but you need to also choose them, to choose healthy relationships, but you also need to work on your own insecurities where you're pushing people back and you're, whatever. And I have a friend who she's like, oh, let me help with this. Let me help with this. And it almost made me feel like smothery. But I think it was also because at that time I wasn't able and open to actually receive somebody helping me, because I was like, okay, why is she doing this? Like, what does she want from me? And so then like, I wouldn't even be open to actually receiving help because I felt like there was ulterior motives, even if there wasn't. Subconsciously it felt like that. So that's what I mean, like all that shit kind of coming up to see it from a different perspective, so we can do the work on ourselves, so we can heal those traumas, we can heal those old belief systems, so we can let in what we actually want. And a lot of people don't realize this. I think you actually push away what you want almost all the time, because when spirit brings to you what you want, see, a lot of people call it sabotaging. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a self-sabotaging thing. I would say it's a subconscious pattern that when you, let me say different. So when you are looking for a deep connection with somebody and somebody shows up who's a deep type person, what happens is you'll subconsciously want to run away from them. And this is my perspective. And here's why I say this, is because this person is going to bring up all the fucking lies that you've been told or you told yourself, and all this conditioning and false belief systems. And that means you have to deal with that shit. That means that all that shit that's going to fucking flood up for you, you're going to have to deal with that shit and bring it to the surface. And a lot of people don't feel safe looking at things that have happened from the past, or taking like responsibility and accepting their own role in that. Like if you had a bunch of unhealthy relationships, and yours truly definitely has, you've had a bunch of unhealthy relationships, you're also a part of that, which means you were choosing people that weren't good for you after you saw the red flags, or after you saw that they weren't good for you, and you were allowing them in your life and keeping them in your life and staying stuck in a cycle. And I always tell people, it's not to shame you, it's not to guilt you, it's just an acknowledgement that those people were in my life because I actually allowed them in my life. So it's not just all on them, it's on both people, that I also allowed this, I also accepted this, I also didn't have boundaries. And so like when what you want shows up, it is going to mirror all the fucking shit that's the opposite of that, that's unhealed, that's lower level shit. And that's why a lot of times people feel uncomfortable, they feel unsafe. So what happens is the subconscious mind, the inner child, whatever, will actually go into fear mode and will go, no, this person's like this, no, this person, and you'll look for problems and you'll look for things to push them away. So this way you don't have to deal with this. So a lot of people are kind of working through that right now so they can kind of see those things so they can actually receive what they want. They're healing those things so they can receive what they want. Oh my God, why are you so cute? Why am I so obsessed with you? You know I am. You know I am. She's so cute. She was like laying with me like all night. Like near my feet though. Hey, why are you so cute and shit? No, mommy pets you and loves you. Okay, so we got the advise and listen with apologizing and grudge. So this actually feels like you guys listening to some of your thoughts and your deeper feelings and healing them to help you like letting go of the past. Like a lot of this I feel like relates to kind of what I've been saying about those deeper belief systems and feelings and traumas, and not taking things personal and seeing it for the way it is, the truth of what it is that sometimes people can't show up for you the way you need them to or want them to. I'm going to give you an example because they just brought something up to me. So this is something I've experienced is I want people to fully show up for me. I want people to like prioritize me and be loyal to me like I am to them. And I find oftentimes that I'm the one who ends up doing more work than other people in relationships. And that's always bothered me, the imbalance of it, right? I just realized I'm wearing my yin yang shirt. That bothers me, like the imbalance of it. So it relates to feeling used and feeling not enough and all this shit, right? And what I realized though is I would see like friendships, relationships where they would do stuff for other people that they wouldn't do for me. And it's always made me feel like it's a me problem. Like there's something wrong with me. Like why I can see you're capable of doing this because you're doing it for other people. So why are you choosing not to do it for me? And it would take it really personal. But here's one of the things I realized is if I'm gonna be honest, I know I have strong ass energy and I don't do authentic shit. Like I'm a real person and like I don't do fucking fake bullshit. I've never done fake bullshit. So when people are in relationships with me, friendship, relationship, whatever, is we don't do this, facade, superficial, like low level bullshit. And I'm at a certain level and I want people who are at the same level. What I realized though is the people who were giving attention or energy and stuff to other people instead of me, it's because they knew that I'm going to be there. They didn't have to earn my love. They didn't have to earn my approval. They didn't have to do any of that stuff. They just knew they got it. Like what they saw, they got. Like it is what it is. It's unconditional, right? Whereas the other people, they felt like they have to show up for them or do things for them, or it would trigger their abandonment wound where these people aren't going to love me or they're going to leave or whatever. And they don't even realize they're doing it. They have no idea they're even doing it. So I had to look at it from a different perspective, that just because they're behaving in a certain way doesn't mean that it reflects on there being a problem with me or somebody not loving me or shit like that. It's almost like I don't have to focus so much on, they almost were like, I don't have to focus so much on the relationship with Brittany because like that's good and like I know she's always there. Whereas the other people is like, but they might leave, but they might this, and I have to appease them. So they would kind of chase them and stuff. For me, it was almost like they would run, like, or half, I should say that, half run. And I had to kind of change my perspective that it has nothing to do with me not being enough, has nothing to do with, me not being lovable and all this stuff. But also at the same time, I have to look at myself of what am I willing to allow and not allow in my life. And just because I can understand why you're doing what you're doing doesn't mean that I should have to accept a half-ass relationship from you because you don't want to show up for me fully because, whatever. And so it's kind of going deeper into also we're not going to control, we're not going to, and we can't control what other people do. We're responsible for how we respond. We're responsible for communicating our needs, but we're also responsible for what we allow and don't allow. So for me, I look at it from a different perspective is I'm going to tell you my feelings on it. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to explain to you why my feelings are hurt. And I'm going to explain to you, you know, like how this stuff is making me feel. And then what you do with it is what you do with it. And I give it some space and I see, how do I feel? What, you know, what happens? And after some time, if I see that, okay, this is a person who maybe we're not in alignment right now, maybe we need some space, or maybe there's a deeper issue there or something like that. Some people, you know, will step up, some people won't, and like kind of reassess things. So I feel like a lot of this type of stuff is what's going on, or it's going to be going on for you guys to kind of see things for what they are and not what you keep telling yourself they are. Not keep feeding your trauma. Like, not keep feeding that unworthiness. Not keep feeding that you're an issue. Like, I think people also don't kind of look at shit like that is like, they're like, well, why is every person I meet like this to me? And why is every person? Because they're showing you something that you are not doing for yourself or healing for yourself. And what you're wanting from other people oftentimes is what you need to give to you. Oh, we got the Love Begins card. Damn, these cards are just like popping the fuck out. Shit. We got Love Begins, Prosperity Begins, Late. 1, 1, and then 19. So 1, 1, 1, 9. Okay, here or no. Okay, no, they don't want me to say that, but this is the card that just kind of popped out. This is movements, choices, and decisions. This, I'm going to tell you what I'm getting. So I'm getting looking at abundance and what you want, committing to the choices that you want, and staying in your heart center with it, and allowing new things to come in and clear all the old. That's what that is, what I'm getting from that. Okay. Love begins. Prosperity begins. Light. I just want to say with this too. Oh, I love, there's a bunch of trees in this. And I wear my tree shirt. Woo, woo. That's what's up, man. That just because like when a reading is done, one is general. Also, when Spirit says things are coming for you soon, their version of soon is not our version of soon. Okay. Like, you want things to be healthy. You want things to be good. You want things to be lasting. You want things that are really like full. And that takes time and patience for things to happen. So even if it's been a long time, doesn't mean you're not going to receive it. It just means that there's maybe more work that needs to be done. There's more like things you need to heal, whatever it is. Let things flow. Like, things will naturally flow. Anything meant for you is always going to come in for you. You just have to be in the energy to be able, like I always say this, to be in the energy to be able to fully receive this, to not push it away, to not reject it, to be able, like if you're looking for love, you have to be able to be in an energy where you can recognize what real love is, what real healthy, unconditional love is. So when you respect and treat it right, and you actually allow it yourself to receive it, and also where you don't sabotage it, where you don't hurt it, where you don't do things because you're still feeling like you don't deserve it. So then you go and like fuck it up. Like, and I mean, obviously it's not exact like that. That's just the best way I can say it. So like, a lot of us are still working on clearing all that stuff so we can actually receive what we want, and not just love. Anything that you actually love, or anything you have a passion for, a desire for, a dream. Not what you tell yourself, what you actually want. And Spirit's saying like a lot of people kind of lie to themselves, and they keep shit very like surface because they're so scared of going deeper and asking for what they truly desire, because there's a deeper fear that it's going to break you or damage you or leave you or all this stuff. Anytime shit like that happens, you rebuild from it. Anytime you are broken down, you are, I don't want to say damaged, but I feel like people use that word, so I'll say it. Damaged, anything like that, you always rebuild better and stronger every single fucking time. So just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to repeat itself, especially if you're not the same person and you've learned certain lessons and healed certain things. With this Love Begins card, this just feels like this like bright beginning, this bright future, like things just going really smooth, things kind of being like this, almost like daydream energy of like kind of what you've daydreamed, kind of what you've wanted, and like allowing it in. And like kind of with the Prosperity Begins card, I'm getting from Spirit like things take time, like your seed was planted, some of you, a few years ago. And it's like, but you had to grow those strong roots. Then you had to grow the trunk. Then you had to grow the tree. You know, you had to grow all these things before the fruit can actually bloom. Do you want rotten fruit? Or do you want fruit that only lasts a season? Or do you want the tree to grow in a way that's slow, but like keeps harvesting, right? Keeps growing juicy fruits over and over and over, season after season after season. That's healthy. That's full with nutrients, you know? Like all that, like, and if you think about your life as a metaphor, that's what you want. You don't want temporary money. You don't want temporary, you know, connection. You want long lasting shit. And that takes time and patience. Things don't just get handed. You have to do the work internally to be in the energy, to be open to receive it. You also don't want a relationship that's imbalanced either, because if you're wanting a healthy connection and healthy love, but you're not healthy and whatever, you can meet somebody who's, say, like here at a healthy energy level. If you're here, either you have to step up or you're pulling this person down. And this person has to be stable and solid. So if you're trying to pull them down, they're not being pulled down with you. So you have to look at it like this too, is if they're up here and you're here and you're trying to pull them down, that's not fair to them. And also, like if you're here and they're here, that means you're not meeting their needs. They might be meeting yours, but you're not meeting theirs. And that's also not balanced and reciprocated. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like things have to work themselves out and go into that. With this Light card, it just feels like I'm getting from Spirit, like your dreams coming true. It's just like your dreams coming true and like things happening for you, like things, like really opening up for you and kind of seeing the positive of your experiences, kind of seeing like where maybe you saw things in a negative way or in like a way that wasn't necessarily truth, and seeing things from like I love you so much. I love your purse. Seeing things from like a positive perspective and seeing like how, yeah, maybe you've been broken down and things have hurt you, but look at how much you've grown. Look at how much you've healed. Look at how much has changed your perception of what you want. And like, I know for me, like as I've been doing a lot of healing lately, I've been seeing how in every single romantic relationship, I felt very unsafe. I felt really unsafe and not like a lot of different things, but really the below the surface level here was a lack of safety and a lack of trust. And so as I'm healing these things and these past things that caused me a lot of pain, I'm also seeing like what I need and like what safety and trust looks like to me. And all of the relationships I've had and all of the things that haven't worked out have shown me what it is that I want and what it is that I need, and where I was showing up and how I was showing up that wasn't healthy, and how I was receiving unhealthy things, and how I wasn't respecting myself, and a lot of different things. I have a strong belief everything happens for a reason. I've said this since I was definitely a teenager, but maybe even younger than that. And it does all work out and it does all happen like that. But everything that we go through is teaching us something, is showing us something. And the more we stand in alignment with ourselves and what we want, and we respect ourselves, like the easier things are, the calmer things are. All right, let's pull like one last message. Ah, shit. So the Trust card, it didn't come out though. Sage, bring the balls back to me. I just saw the Trust card again. Damn. Okay. What's this card popping out? Communication. Do you want me to take that separate? Sage, I love you. No. Go grab one of the balls. I literally just threw one for you a minute ago. Sage. Hey. Come on. Stop. Stop. Okay. We got Earth Angel on the bottom with balance. I feel like balance has been a big message today. Sit. Hey. Sage. Hey. She's like trying to do like a little fucking... Here, let me throw this for you. Since you already ripped, actually. No, it's not gonna ripped off. Here. Look at it. I don't know if that works with fake through paper. She's a pretty fucking smart cat. Okay, anyway. Open up to your spiritual gifts and trust them. They don't want me to read anything else. The balance, they're saying like, don't worry about what you need to do. It's naturally working out. Just don't do anything that like you don't want to do, and do the things you do want to do. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Communication. Speak your truth. Be honest when you communicate. That's all they wanted me to say from the bottom of that. No, come on. Baby, come on. Come here. You really are like a fucking toddler sometimes. Stop. Come on. You distract your mamas. So for some of you, this is like when you're talking to people being, look at her cute little face. When you're talking to people being like really direct and honest about how you feel, it feels like some of you guys are just kind of like going in circles with stuff, or you're not really just being authentic with what you actually want or how you feel. Like, even if it feels like what you want is not the right time to receive it, doesn't mean that you can't communicate it now. With this processing and reflection, oh my God. Are you going to sit the rest of the reading? Yeah, you are. Stay. Okay, I'm gonna read the bottom, the parts that they want me to read. Process your feelings and your thoughts, connecting to your higher self. Remind yourself everything is okay. Live in the moment in meditation. With the reflection card, duality, reflection, and awareness. I feel like this is a lot of reflecting messages. What you see in others is also within you. Outside situations and relationships are mirroring something you need to see within yourself. I feel like that's been like kind of the theme of this reading today. I just keep getting like things are going to balance out once you're really honest with yourself and other people about your feelings, your needs, how, like, whatever it is, or even your spirit team. And you stop settling even within your own mind of what you want. Things are going to like, you're going to see things in a different way. You're going to feel things in a different way. And it's going to help you to release it and let it go. And it's going to help you to feel better. When you're not in alignment with yourself, you're going to feel like shit. Honestly, if you're doing things you don't want to do, you're going to feel like shit. So think about like just small things, right? It's like, I don't want to go to like your friend wants to go out to a fucking bar or some shit like that, and you're like, yeah, I really don't like this scene, I don't really want to go, but I'm gonna do it because my friend wants me to do it. And you go out and like it's just a lot of heavy energy, it's just dumb. I don't like going to bars, so it's just like dumb shit, whatever. And like it's just people who get drunk and then are just trying to hug, just dumb shit. Like, I don't even understand why people go to bars. Like, I did that shit a long ass time ago, but like, whatever, you understand my point. So it's like, you go out there and you're doing it just because your friend wants you to do it. And then you're out there and you're like, feel miserable. You're like, I wish I didn't fucking go. Wish I was home. You just feel like shit. Your energy feels like shit. You're probably feeling all this fucking garbage, bullshit energy of people like attention seeking, avoiding their feelings, like all this shit, right? And then you go home and you're just like, God damn, you're drained as fuck, you're tired as fuck, you're irritable as fuck, and all this. Versus doing something that we don't want to do out of alignment, people pleasing, or not wanting to let somebody down, or whatever reason you went and lied to yourself about why you didn't want to go. And intuitively we can feel we shouldn't go places, or we should. And then versus like something you want to do where your friend's like, hey, let's go here. And you're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. That's what's up. And then you go there and it just feels very flowy. It feels very good. It feels very light. It feels very free. That's how you can tell the difference. But it's like making sure you're even doing small things in alignment, because when you're doing stuff you don't like or you don't want to, or you're lying to yourself and telling yourself whatever, or you're trying to distract from your truth and what you really want, you're going to keep feeling like shit because it's not who you are. It's like the same thing as like you're trying to fit in. Like this is kind of the message Spirit just gave me. It's like you want to be comfortable, right? But your body is a certain type. So it's like you're trying to fit into clothes that are way too small for you. You're trying to fit into a situation or an energy or whatever that is no longer who you are or who was never you. That you never, I looked, 4. That was never you at all. So like that's what it means when you're doing shit that like you don't want to do that are out of alignment and stuff. So like you gotta sit with your own energy and your own shit and do what's best for you, making sure you're actually doing what you want and you're not doing what you don't want, and that's what's going to help you to feel better. So if you're feeling like a lot of heaviness, I don't mean releasing and shit's coming up, but if you're feeling like shit, you're feeling like a lot of heaviness, and it's not just shit coming up, it's just you in general feeling like that, and you've been feeling like that sluggish, shitty energy for a while, it probably means that what I would do is look at what is it that I want in my life, and am I living in that truth? Am I emanating those behaviors? Am I doing those, taking action on those things? Am I aligning my mindset to those things? Or am I focusing on distractions and things that I don't want and shit that has nothing to do with what I actually want? Like, am I focusing on shit, or am I focusing on things that I actually want, who I want to be, what I want to receive, etc.? And that's what's going to help you to kind of balance these things. So anyway, I hope that this message helped, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day.